Howdy, Hassan from Hassan Reviews is here, and today we're doing a request I got from a fan. And it is none other than the '89 Batman movie. Now, I'm going to first state this. It's taken me forever to finally watch this film. I've seen the sequels, but it didn't take me until this year for me to actually see this film. I know, that sounds so weird, but I just couldn't find time to watch it till this year. I don't know why. I mean, there are films like this and Ghostbusters that have taken me forever to finally watch once, I can't give you an explanation as to why, but yep, here I am finally. The '89 Batman movie. So many people consider this the best Batman movie. Well, at least up there with The Dark Knight. I still think The Dark Knight's the better movie, but even I have to admit, this is still a good movie. I'm not going to go over the story too much. I mean, it's basically what you think. All I can basically say is Batman versus the Joker. Bruce Wayne, beginning his career as Batman, trying to come to terms with the loss of his parents, make his name as a vigilante crime fighter, all facing off against a new threat in Gotham City known as the Joker. Now, that is basically the run-of-the-mill story. I'm not going to dive into everything because, unlike, say, other Batman movies, this mostly keeps it pretty simple. You get the premise, you get what's going on. You don't know what the Joker's plan will be, but, you just got to watch it for yourself. And even then, his plan makes sense in the context of the Joker. So what are the major things that work in this? Well, the story isn't really, is basic. What must work for this is the characters and the performances. And, well, I don't think anyone can argue with the fact that Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson's performances as Batman and the Joker, respectively, are great. Nicholson has been overshadowed by Heath Ledger, and I guess even now, throw in, Joaquin Phoenix. But, both Keaton and Nicholson are great in this. They do really well for what they've got. They're both exceptional in the roles. And considering how much of an outrage it was when Keaton was first announced as Batman back then, and considering how well he performed it, and how people still consider him the best Batman in film, it's really impressive to look into, I think what also helps is the iconic Danny Elfman theme. I love this theme. It's iconic. We all know it. It's appeared in so many other versions. Elfman's even remixed it in certain capacities, like in the intro for the 90s animated series. Yeah, we all know the theme. The atmosphere is also pretty good. Tim Burton, for being this, I think the third movie he directed, it just fits well. It's a great looking film, and the scale of Gotham City just feels right. It's perfect. I don't think there's any problem with both of those things. This feels like you're in a real life Gotham City, which is great. It helps. It helps you immerse. The atmosphere just immerses you in. That's perfect. There are, of course, so many memorable quotes in this. I can go over how many there are, whether they're from Keaton as Batman or Nicholson as the Joker. There are plenty of good quotes in there that I can just list, but I'm not going to go over them. You probably all know them. The action scenes. When you look at the action scenes in the later Batman movies, even, say, the Schumacher films, they're a lot more flashier, I should say, or more grander in some capacity. But this tries to keep it more basic, and for the context of the movie, it works. And the climax itself is really fun. Is a really good climax, from Batman flying the Batwing. The climax of Joker at the old church. It's great. They do well. So the only nitpick in terms of the action scenes I have is, I would say, the Batmobile, or the Batmobile chase in this. I don't know, just Although the scene where Vicki Vale is taking photos of Batman as he fights the goons is pretty good too. The effects on that were handled really well. What are there any problems I have with this? Well, they're nitpicks, really. First off, Harvey Dent. I mean, Billy D. Williams does a good job in this, I will admit that. And it is cool, nice to see a more colored, a black Harvey Dent. I'm trying to phrase it in, but but I can't say he was needed in this. Like, it's, you could have removed Harvey Dent from this and you wouldn't have got anything. I mean, especially since Billy D. Williams didn't return to play him in Batman Forever. Instead, they gave it to Tommy Lee Jones. And one day I'll look into the other Batman movies, especially Forever and Robin. Vicki Vale. Now, again, Kim Basinger does a good job of what she does, and Vicki Vale is a iconic Batman lover in the common girlfriend of Bruce Wayne in the comics, but she's a very basic damsel in distress. I mean, yes, she has her tough moments, her no-nonsense attitude, but compared to, say, how the other Batman, I mean, I'm going to take Catwoman out of this because that's sort of her own character in terms of the films, but I kind of don't see, she's not at the same scale as some of the other girlfriends in the other Batman movies, like Rachel Dawes in the Dark Knight trilogy. That was, she's good. Vicki Vale, not so much. And then the joke. Now, the context of this version of the Joker is his original identity. Person before he becomes the Joker, his name's Jack Napier, and Jack Napier is the one who killed Bruce Wayne's parents. Now, that does lead to a very interesting thing in the movie where one, and we all know that in the comics, the Batman Joker, one can't exist without the other in many ways. And it is interesting to say that each one created the other's new persona. It is refresh. It is a nice context, but I don't know. I don't really feel right. I mean, I can accept that this version of the Joker killed Bruce Wayne's parents, but it's not something I'm particularly fond of. It's odd, but I'll accept it, but not the way I traditionally think of this. I mean, this was kind of referenced a bit with in a Simpsons episode where the Bartman Begins sketch, they referenced that a bit, but I kind of buy that more than I buy this. But I do enjoy the '89 Batman movie. It is a really fun piece, and again, I consider this. It's funny that I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in theaters right before I watched this, reviewed this. It's just, this is a definition of a popcorn feature where you go in and you'll love it. You're just going to have a good time, and that's what you can get. And for a while, I would say that's what you hope for the most when you watch comic book movies. Even now, there's the MCU and other DC movies. What you hope for is a good time, and the '89 Batman movie, you're going to get a good time. I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10 hat stars. I really enjoyed it. Still, The Dark Knight is hard to top in my eyes. And I'm pretty sure that is for a lot of people. But yeah, again, for the first Batman movie most people saw in theaters, can't go wrong. So, what's next? Well, either I review The Bad Guys, which is now out in theaters, or, well, I've got a few more requests I need to get down with. Not sure. I'm gonna have to first figure out which one I can watch first, But I'm not gonna say what they are till later. But in the meantime, this is Hassan from Hassan Reviews out, and I'll see you for my next video. Ciao.